What's going on, guys? So, first and foremost, this was the one I was most interested in when these new Club de Nuit flankers were originally announced. And admittedly, in the first impressions, it was my second favorite of the three that I got. There's four total that came out. I didn't get the women's, but now that I've spent a little bit of time with this one, my feelings have changed slightly from my first impressions. Of course, we're talking about Armaf's Club de Nuit Untold. I want to talk to you a bit more about it, so stay tuned. Before we get into the review, I wanted to thank perfumeonline.ca for sending this my way, so I was able to spend time with it to bring you guys this review. Any of you not familiar with perfumeonline.ca, they are Canada's #1 online discounter. They have hard to find stuff, they have vintage, they have some discontinued fragrances, niche, designer, affordable Middle Eastern stuff, cheapy designers, you name it. They very well could have it at very competitive prices. So once again, thank you guys for sending it out my way. And there will be a link to this fragrance down in the description if you're interested in checking it out. Now let's get into this review. So real quick, we'll take a look at the box. Highly reflective. Has this pinkish hue with an iridescence. Club de Nuit Untold. Armaf branding on the top. Some information on the bottom. Club de Nuit on the side, just like on the bottle. Nothing spectacular. Style and Parfums. In regards to this bottle, it is a nice looking bottle. It has that iridescence of, like I said in the first impressions video, think those really cheap titanium knives. I actually do think this looks a bit better. And then the gold is a matte finish. Club de Nuit on the side. Some info. And my cap in particular holds really strongly in place, as you can see. And the atomizer really puts out. Let's talk about this scent. So I have the notes on screen, pretty much 1-to-1 with Baccarat Rouge 540. So this one, in the opening, I relate it to a slightly higher quality cotton candy-like feel of Ariana Grande Cloud. Okay, I get that cotton candy, playfully sweet and creamy smell at the top. As it starts to settle, it's funny that somebody said this in my comments in the last few days, that they find it's closer to Instant Crush. I can see where they're coming from because I get more amberwood and jasmine in this than I do in other Baccarat Rouge 540 clones that I have. So I think that's a fair assessment. There is a lot of amberwood and jasmine here that plays along as that creamy cotton candy smell settles down, but never quite fades. This isn't a heavily nuanced scent. The opening is not drastically different from the far dry on. I actually have a fresh spray on my hand. Well, I say fresh, it's been on my hand for a few hours now. And I thought the creaminess in my first impressions would have been a little bit of maybe almond, but this isn't really an almond smell. It's more cotton candy-like. Like I said, once I got to have a wearing experience with the sillage, aside from just several test sprays, which I have done several test sprays since, it's more cotton candy. So that's why I bring up Ariana Grande Cloud. So yes, this is better. It reminds me of that. A slightly, believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this about an Armaf fragrance, but this smells of higher quality than the Ariana Grande fragrance, and it is more expensive, and you should get more for spending more. I get that. But as it settles, it's pretty much what it's about. It's this amberwood heavy, warm wood, creamy smell, light white floral tone, has a little bit of that crystallized muskiness that I was speaking of in the first impressions video. For those of you that haven't heard me say that before, think of the typical cotton candy sweetness that you get from BR 540. Only obviously it's a different level versus the real deal. This isn't completely 1-to-1. I would say this scent profile is like 75-80% accurate, at least on my skin. That's why I bring up fragrances like Cloud and Instant Crush. Like, it kind of leans towards those a little bit more, whereas there's a little bit of differences, but clearly going down the path. I've had people in the comments tell me that they've heard people say it's basically 1-to-1. They themselves think this is 1-to-1. Everybody's different. For me, in my experience, the way it's been coming across to me is it's really close. It's clearly the route they were going, but I wouldn't call this a carbon copy of either version of Baccarat Rouge 540. But I do have to admit, it is a joy to smell. In regards to performance, this is going to make a lot of people happy. For me, beast. Beast, 12 plus hours in longevity. It has been the case. It's been a beast in longevity. Projection's really heavy. Every time I've had it on me so far, my wife's told me it's ridiculously strong. a few feet before I even get to her. I would say the projection's in the moderate to heavy side, which is right in that beastly territory, you know. And then the sillage kind of falls into that moderate kind of range where it's pretty, I wouldn't call them super strong whiffs that I get throughout the day and the life of it on my skin, but you know, it's not a light aroma reminding me it's there. It's a pretty strong hit reminding me, hey, I'm still here. I'm still pushing off your skin. We've got a nice scent bubble. And that's always nice. A lot of people are looking for fantastic performance, regardless of whether they spend 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, or 500 bucks. Most people want long-lasting and loud. They want everybody to smell them. Well, this is one of those fragrances that would be the case. Definitely a compliment-getting type of DNA, and the performance on this one lingers, lasts, and gives more opportunity to be discovered by others. Final thoughts on Armaf's Club de Nuit Untold. So, it is, like I said, the one I was most interested in of all 4 of the new Club de Nuit flankers. And it's a little bit better than I anticipated it to be. The first impressions, I wasn't underwhelmed. I still gave it a very good rating at 7 out of 10. That has changed. That has adjusted. I do think, based on the performance and the wearing experience, is joyful. It doesn't come across scratchy and synthetic or super cheap smelling to me. It's been enjoyable to wear. So for that, it gets another half a point bump. I think this is still very good at 7.5 out of 10. It's not my favorite Baccarat Rouge 540 clone, but it's up there. I would say this easily goes into the top 3 behind Sammy Andrus Red Sapphire at number 2 and Al Haramain Amber Oud Rouge. That's my 2 favorite takes on Baccarat Rouge 540. Regardless of EDP or extrait concentration, this one comes into a close 3rd, which is still really good. I do think it's worth checking out. I understand a lot of the hype behind this one. I've been enjoying it. Once again, thank you so much to PerfumeOnline.ca for sending this my way, so I was able to really experience it, because admittedly I was a little underwhelmed with the announcement originally, and I wasn't planning on getting these, and to be honest with you guys, if they weren't sent to me, I don't know if I would have gotten my nose on them. My buddy Neeb, shout outs to Aromatics, was going to send me a decan of this one, so I was at least going to get my nose on this one, because like I said, this one interested me the most, and it delivered. I gotta say, overall, it definitely delivered. So, until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What do you think about this? I know a lot of you watching this have this. If you haven't gotten it yet, do you find my opinion and my experience with it to be helpful in any form or fashion, whether it's to help you avoid it or helping you with maybe a buying decision on getting a decan, or if you're rolling the dice on it blind buying? I don't know. You never know what people are going to do. It's your money. Do as you choose. This is just my opinion. And I'm not going to say I'm blown away by it, because I'm not. But it has been enjoyable to wear. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Club de Nuit Untold and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.